Yeah, yeah, yeah. Day 22, baby. Let's go. As you guys can tell by the time of the video, we're going to be taking care of compression. What is compression? A bunch of you guys should know what the word means, at least. You know, compress that hoe, compress that shit, you know what I mean? You're basically squishing it down, right? You're making it tighter. Basically, that's all you're doing with the audio. So, with that being said, there's no limit to what you can do. Lock in. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Psych! You really thought, huh? No, but on some real serious though, like literally that's all it is with compressors. You're just making the audio tighter. That's all you're doing. For demonstration purposes. For the rest of the video, you're gonna hear me trash audio. Alright, you're gonna be basically, what the frick? It sounds hella trash. The Lidma. Okay. You know how trash I sound like? But this is audio. You guys can tell on the left side, if I talk really soft. Actually, make this a little bigger, actually. Wide. Can I go wider? That's it. Extra large or the extra large? See, Bobby, extra large. Pause. Okay, so as you guys can tell right here, I talk like really soft. It's like around 12, 15. But the moment I start talking loud, you see it jumps up to like 3 dB of audio. So basically, what I mean, when you see I'm yelling, it goes up to 0. What I mean, bro, I can even yell louder. Yeah! Woo! Past 0. When you're making music, you want to keep your audio level around the same level. If that makes sense. Same level. So, what you gotta do is grab compressors. Limiter works as well, but that's not what the video is about. It's about compressor. So, where can you get a compressor? If you're using FL Studio, they got the stock compressor. It literally called right here. Where is it? Fruity compressor. I have no idea why this shit gotta be zesty, but it's a fruity compressor. And then literally, as you can tell, yeah, it's already, I think, like not letting go past 0 for some reason. It shouldn't be like that, I believe. And put the tech up. Yeah! Woo! I guess these things are limited already to 0. Yeah! Which is, I didn't know that. But basically, you guys can tell. Woo! Yeah, they put it back on R. Put it back where it was right here. Somewhere here. Alright, and then put the ratio somewhere, like that. So let's watch this. I'm gonna try to yell as much as I can and constant, and I'm gonna lower the threshold. So, nothing. Alright, doesn't do anything because the ratio. This is gonna be all confusing to you guys, but all you gotta know, ratio. Think of it as like how much. Basically, it says if I pass 1, it'll lower 1. So we go. Yeah, baby! Alright, let's put this at 2 to the 1. To the 1. Yeah, baby! Yeah! 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 Yeah, baby! Yeah! Alright, you hear that? So, let's put it a little bit. Yeah, baby! It's not compressing, it's compressing right now, right? That's what it's doing. It's compressing, even if I get louder. Yeah, baby! Yeah! Woo! You might be saying, it just made my voice softer. What the fuck, man? You boost it up with the gain. Alright, now we're getting the volume back. Yeah, baby! So I did get the idea, alright, with this 3 knobs right here. Threshold, ratio, and gain. We're gonna keep the threshold right there, and I'm gonna boost up the ratio. Watch. Yeah, baby! You hear the difference? It sounds like it's going like, ka-dum! Pushing it up even more. Alright, versus, yeah! You hear that? Yeah! Alright, you hear that? And let's do, like, as we already saw here when we did it like this. Yeah! It's not a gain, but it's pushing it even more. So, let's leave it right here. Somewhere here, right here. Alright, gain is just to bring the volume back up. So, what is attack and release? Attack and release means how quick. So, let's do something ridiculously crazy and a crazy threshold. So right now, as you guys can tell, my voice is getting squished out like crazy. If I bring up the attack, yeah! You hear that? Let me bring that back down so you guys can hear me. As you guys saw, the attack happened like a little after. Like it started pushing down my voice a little after. So let's do that one more time so you guys can hear it. So boom. Alright, if I do it like this, off rip, I'm done. Alright, this is my OBS recording. You can hear me right now. But now you hear the FL Studio audio. But if I put attack all the way up, like really slow, like super slow. And then watch. Yeah! Woo! See, like, it reacts kind of late. Let's do a fast attack and a super fast release. It push down my vocal hella quick, but then my voice should come back up hella quick. Yeah, yeah. If I keep doing that, it lets my voice come back up. But if I make the release super slow, it's gonna keep my voice down longer. Watch. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's compressor. Basically, if we break it down, at what point, this is threshold. At what point does the compressor start working? Even if I'm soft, it can like get it like that. If that makes sense. Alright, so it's not gonna wait for me to get super loud. If I'm a little bit loud, it's gonna start working off rip. Attack is how quick it's gonna push my audio down. Release is like how quick or slow my voice will come back up after it already pushed it down. Ratio, how much it's gonna go like boom. That makes sense. And then the gain, just bringing the volume back up, and then the hard and like all this stuff, just like different algorithm. It's for you to play around with. Alright. See which sounds a little bit better. But that's only one compressor. Something that looks like this, that looks like this, something that looks like this, something that looks like this. Or maybe something that looks like this. They all come in different shapes and sizes, just like in real life. To simply explain some of the main principles that you need to figure out. That way you can understand any type of compressor. A lot of time, they have like a gain. It's called makeup. It's basically the gain. Alright. Ratio, we have ratio right here. We have ratio right here. We also have the ratio in the original FL Studio Free compressor. We have threshold. This has a threshold. This has a threshold. Has attack and release. As you can tell, it says fast this way, slow that way. Instead of the threshold going back this way for this one, it goes back this way. Same thing for this one. This one goes back this way. It's also even simpler. There's even other simpler compressor. You see, this one doesn't even have no threshold, none of that, because it takes care of that for you already. What this one does is, based off the audio, if I start talking, see here, the needle is moving back. That's what you listen to, alright? The needle. If I put this peak reduction, which is the threshold, basically. If I put this back here, it's, okay, there you go. Make sure you have it on GR, by the way, guys. Most of the time, it's like compression up in the middle. Alright, I believe some other ones have it like that. This one doesn't have it. So, as you can tell, if I put it right here, it's already moving, right? Simple compressor. This is basically the threshold. This is your gain. And the ratio and speed, all that, it takes care of that for you, basically, alright? If I put it at 0, you see it's not doing anything. Even if I boost it up, still, absolutely nothing. How you make it start working? You start lifting it up like this. What we're gonna do is make the audio sound tighter right now, right? Yeah, yeah. And then we can boost it back up. Yeah. Now they do have auto makeup, so basically it means so you can hear how much compression it's doing. As you can tell, you see, it starts moving as I bring up the compressor. So it stays around the same volume, except the compression sounds different. So if I go, yeah, woo, yeah, woo. You hear that? You hear the difference? If you don't hear it, let me do it again. But something longer. Woo! Yeah! Woo! Yeah! This one, when I had it all the way here, it sounded like really more squash. Versus this one right here, as I bring it up, that's where it gets more squash. I can bring up the gain, bada bing, bada boom. Even if it talk really soft, like this, versus if I start making compressing, while I talk soft like this, and then if I bring it back up, basically no matter how soft I talk or loud, it stays around the same volume. Yeah. It stays around the same volume. And then lastly, but not least, you have this one right here. This one has no threshold again, but you have input, output, attack, release, and ratio. So how do you work this one? Think of it like this. For this one, as you can tell, it's already moving back. The more input we give it, the more it's gonna compress. Even if I lower the output. Alright, it's still doing it. You guys can't hear me through FL Studio, but you can hear me here. Think of it like this. So to basically simplify it, think of it like this. The more you input it, the more signal it's getting, the more it's gonna compress. The less input you're giving, the less it's gonna compress. It already has like a threshold signal, if that makes sense. So the moment you start making it react to it, that's what's gonna happen. So the more we exceed the algorithm threshold that it has automatically, the more it's gonna compress. Type of deal. If that sounds confusing, all you gotta know, the more you boost this, the more it's gonna compress about this way. The less you do it, the less it's gonna compress. But you're gonna have to bring it up through here, the output. The attack and the release. The thing with the 76, anything that has the 76 on it, most likely is the same algorithm. Alright? So normally you would think attack this way, I mean, is a fast attack and a fast release? No. On the contrary, if I yell, yeah, it's slow. You see how slow it took to go back? That's evident that's not that fast. Versus if we put it this way, yeah, you see how quick it goes that way? It comes back. That means for this algorithm, the CLA 76 or any compressor that says 76, most likely the attack and the release is backwards. A good way to remember it is when you count up 5, 6, but this says 76, so you're going backwards. So remember, 7-6 is backwards. So for the attack and ratio, it means it's backwards. So what's a good rule of thumb when using compressor? I would say it depends on your audio. If you're yelling a lot and you're doing like racing music, you want to make sure your volume stays the same. You want to keep it around like 5, 7, 3, and then bring it up as like the gain or output. If you're doing natural singing, you know, like kind of like Leve, Billie Eilish, where like one moment you gotta be kind of soft and then loud later. You don't want to compress a lot. But then that means you might have to do manual gain staging like we talked about before. Also, my best advice for you guys is please do not use only one compressor. My best advice for you is to use multiple instances of compressor. What that means, if this is the only compressor you got, put them multiple times, maybe 2 or 3 times. The reason for that is if you're making one compressor do all the work, that's not good. Basically, think of it like your sculpting. That's what mixing your vocal is all about. You're basically sculpting and refining your audio to fit good with the music. So you're making all the work for one compressor. It might get the job done, but you might get a better and more natural result or a desirable result using 2 different compressors or like 2 instances of compressor. So with that being said, there's no limits to what you can do. Lock in, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.